You're listening to Big World Network.
The Darkness Under the Rainbow, Episode 1, written and read by Sam Kearns. Stage 1. Echoes. Kate Minson has been the ship poet on board the Crualis for the last 3 years. Dance Gently is her first published work. There's a saying within my people, dance gently, or the sun won't rise. When we dance on this day, we must do it gently. The melody is not what matters, nor whether you dance alone or with others. What matters is movement, and breathing, and being, and taste in skin, and passing through the air. Tiny trickles of sweat grace our forehead. We move as though in treacle, as if we were swimming, taking in lashes of fresh air. It is not just my people that dance, but yours too. I see you around that distant, hostile world. Your dancing is alien to us, and yet you move with the same care, the same heart. Maybe in the past we have killed each other, blasted holes into each other's ships, and dragged you into the sucking abyss. Maybe, when the dance finishes, we will return to hating you. But whilst we move, and whilst we feel, all of us, we are not allowed to cling to such things. Our ships are smooth ingots, circulating the purple gas of Yggdrasil, and yours are polished spheres, spinning gracefully around the green tides of Mayankar. From across the void, we all see just how apart we are, how my people are so at ends with yours. We do not share the same world, nor the same language. We can't identify with your legends, your preposterous ideologies. But we do recognize the dance. We recognise that on one day, every 2 years, without great hubbub, we all ascend from our worlds in our ships. Colossal battle hulks, scarred by passing through blazing stars, journey alongside minuscule family shuttles, brightly adorned advertising barges, funeral pyres, personal pods. For one day, our planets are set to standby, and each and every one of us goes on sombre pilgrimage. We rise the way we dance, gently, seeing those beautiful purple clouds sink across the top of our hulls, until the darkness of space grips us, takes us. And you do it too. We can see you. We all dance on our ships, sometimes in silence, often with music. The crooked and the infirm, they dance with their heads and with their tired hands. Those of us who dream the unrelenting dream, I like to believe that they pirouette in their slumber. When we see you spinning in your spherical ships, moving your bodies rhythmically, normally we would find reason to laugh and ridicule. But not today. Today we are happy that you are there, our foes, who we hate with all our hearts. We cry for you and for your pain, and I know that you cry for ours. We share the day that the sun didn't rise. The third planet, our joint home, our joint ancestry, lies to the side of both of ours. It is a barren rock now, dull and twisted. I was not born the day that the sun didn't rise, and neither were you, but I still feel the pain, like roots reaching down my stomach. That planet that we do not name anymore is our shared reason to enjoy life and enjoy our distant bond. One day, the sun's rays did not grace that world, and our elders were bathed in radiant, shining darkness. And though we will never know why, their atmosphere dissipated, left their planet, as if letting go of its hand. Our ancestors were sucked into space, their frozen bodies gliding around one another, families beginning to drift apart for the last time. They all danced gently with each other, swaying in death, dancing as the sun's rays finally hit their desolate world again. I know you know this story. I know as you hold your lover, or your friends, or even fly your ship alone, that this story does not leave your mind. It's why you won't kill me today, and I won't kill you, because breathing and feeling and moving is all we share. Today we dance gently, and tomorrow we hope that the sun will rise one more time. Jenna McKay has hardly changed since her rookie years. Her plaited ginger hair and sharp eyes are identical to the pictures of her younger self that line the wall. Her weathered wit and lean form are the only indications that this is a woman used to wearing body armour thicker than a man's fist. We sit in a pair of rustic armchairs in her apartment. She observes me critically and smokes a sweet-smelling cigarette. First of all, let me say that we knew what we were doing was totally illegal. I had flown hundreds of interplanetary missions by this point, colony protection, moon recon, even a few skirmishes with those across the water. I could practically draw our system territory in my sleep. I can even tell you right now the exact points where our space ends and the backwater begins. So, if any bureaucrat or old warhorse tells you that our arrival on Terus was a charting mistake or a guidance error, then they are full of crap. I don't care if it makes me a traitor to Berissus. It's time for facts to come out. Not like that was going to be a big revelation anyway. Some media mogul had uncovered our flight plan documents years back, so anything I say now is moot, I guess. We knew what we were doing. You bet that they made sure of that. Third Recon had not one, but 3 full briefing sessions before landfall. I swear, they were even going over the details again during the actual drop. The brass were worried, and they let us know it. But then again, so they should have been. If we were caught, it could have triggered another war with Zephyr that we couldn't afford, plus a political backlash that would have ended Premier Kissin's administration. So, they let us know the risks every second we were down there. I think they wanted to install a mortal fear of failure into us. Mostly, it bored us. It's common knowledge now that July 27th, 271 is the day our pod first touched Terrace soil. However, the planning had started months, if not years, before that. Don't ask me which sect thought up the idea, I don't know. But whoever this whole facade started with, they planned well. Our gear was double, triple checked, our orders were repeated time and time again. We had simulations, we had extra training, we had dietary constraints, curfews, exercise regimes, you name it. Can you imagine? Simulations, drafted on a rock that no human had previously set foot on. That's how nervous they were. Picking the team must have taken weeks, all that scrambling through dossiers when the other sects weren't looking. All I know, one day I was Paladin-at-Arms McKay, hardest worker in the most prestigious and most marketable arm of the fleet. Next thing I knew, I was Lieutenant Paladin McKay, second in command of the most controversial recon mission in human history. Why do you think you were picked? Oh, honey, if I was 27 again and pumped with those gross masculine hormones they give you, I could have given you all kinds of answers. Back then, I thought I was the best Paladin-at-Arms in the entire sect. My ego has died down a little on the last 7 years, but I can tell you, I wasn't far wrong. Like I already said, I was a hard worker. You would think that with all the glamour that the Paladins bathed in, with the ad campaigns, the holo games, and all that merchandising, that we would actually be the great defenders of justice that everyone thought we were. In reality, half of our missions ended in either failure or a needless bloodbath, due to the high-bred idiots that, somehow, managed to secure the best positions in the sect. They were lazy, only in it for the title, and yeah, a little inbred. I sparked plenty of those guys out during my time as Rook, back when that kind of behaviour was encouraged because it promoted healthy competition. That was a policy that they stole from Zephyr, you know. Just showing, our purest arm of the fleet was as dodgy and as badly managed as the rest. Then, there were the other guys and girls, like me, who had to fight damned hard every step of the way, who had to forego the luxury of youth in order to become one of the fabled knights of the realm. Boyfriends, drinking, hell, even girlfriends, it all had to take a very distant back seat. My only goal was to be a paladin. Imagine my joy when I got accepted into the sect. and I realised my dream. Imagine my disgust when I realised that its ranks were contaminated by the stupid, the corrupt, and the vain. So I worked harder than ever, taking every mission I could, trying to outperform my superiors, even trying to outperform the legends from the sect's earliest days, the kind of stuff that you only read in children's books. Maybe that's where my obsession began. Notice that they don't print books about paladins anymore? As you can imagine, I had a very high opinion of myself by the end, imagining myself as this great liberator, starting from the ground up, only to liberate my sect from the vices of human nature. Shit, I was a nutcase, and in the end, none of it was worth it. The paladins are dead, at least in my eyes. How come? Because of Terus. Nothing will restore our public image after that. You see, the brave guys and girls in the armour now are a bit like I used to be, crusaders trying to claim our lost glory. Those upper-class pricks with no combat intuition, no common sense, and no... well, let's just say that if a man was supposed to have it, those guys didn't. Yeah, those guys stopped joining the paladins altogether. Ironically, it's a blessing and a curse. There's no pride to it anymore. The name means nothing. People look at the genuinely brave soldiers in armour today and think, we know what you did. Even when the new bloods are way too young to have been on Terus. But I thought that paladin presence in Year 2 was minimal, that they were one of the only groups out there that was trying to keep the peace. We were, but it was a paladin cruiser that fired those missiles. The rest doesn't matter. It's as redundant as those tales in those children's books. The ones about us sweeping down in our metal chariots and claiming back moons for peace and for serenity. It's all bullshit. The Knights of the Realm are history. Now, the Paladins are just a generation of hopefuls, much like my younger self, trying to understand the vice of the present, trying to deal with the sins of the past.
Visit BigWorldNetwork.com for more e-series samples, or sign up for a $3 a month subscription for full access to all written and audio e-series content, accessible from the website, mobile, or e-reader devices. Thanks for listening.
You're listening to Big World Network.